Hello, everybody, and welcome to Libromancy, a podcast about the magic of books. I'm Josh, and today I'm going to be talking about With a Little Luck by Marissa Meyer. So let's be lucky with the magic of books. Wow, you guys, I just flew through this book. It was so fun, so amazing. Yes, it's probably more technically a young adult book than an adult book, but that's okay, and that doesn't bother me, and hopefully it doesn't bother you, because there are good books in all kind of categories, and young adult, new adult, it's marketing, and it's just who they think they want to get to buy it, right? So we're going to enjoy it, but this book was such a fun read. I read through it so fast. It was just beautiful and so relatable that I was like, man, this is, as a used to be teenage boy, I was like, wow, it's like Marissa Meyer really did just know exactly what was going through my head a lot of the time. Now, obviously, can't speak to that, but man, it was so good. I loved the romance of this book. I thought it was perfect in its execution, the way she wove this little magic into it and then came across of it. It's more of a magical realism type of story where the magic is there, but it's not really dwelled on at all. Nobody knows exactly why it comes, it goes. That's the thing, the story is the important part. And it was a really fun story. So in a non-spoilery way, let me go through my seven things that I go through. Characters were great. I loved all of the characters here. You could say that some of the characters are maybe a little bit one-dimensional or that they don't get enough time, but some of these characters are not important enough to the story that we're talking about. Now, the characters that are important to the story here, they are fleshed out enough. This also is book 2 of a 2-book series so far, and so I'm definitely going to go back and read the first one, and that is about a different character that's in here and in this book and in a relationship. But that's fine. That doesn't change my enjoyment of this next book that I'm going to be reading. I can promise you that. Now, like I said, the characters I thought were really well done. Even there's some characters that just are on screen but we don't really see any part of them. That's fine. That makes sense. As family characters, I felt like those were really good. The love interests were both really well done, both different. Neither one was hating on the other one. There wasn't, oh, you can't love her, she's not this or that, that stuff's good. But man, the atmosphere of this book, it carried me the whole way. I was all over the place with my emotions. And I mean that in the best way possible, that when he was high, I was high. When he was low, I was low, right there with him. When he made a dumb decision and went with something else, I was like, my man, you've got to get better at this. You have to choose the right girl. You have to think about these things. And I loved that. Now, the writing was really good. I liked that it was simple, straightforward. I enjoy when the author kind of talks to you a little bit. I like it sometimes, and I like it sparingly, like it was in this book. Kind of just to help fill out that pacing, to keep things going, to, take the tension down a little bit so we can ramp it back up, so we can pull it down again. Comics in the book were hilarious. I loved having them there. I liked seeing the art style, I mean, obviously I know it's somebody else's art style, but seeing that there made it a more personal thing, and I like that. Now, one thing I don't love, and this is not a knock on Marissa Meyer, it's not a knock on anybody who does it, but I just don't love songs written into books, because I like to sing, but I don't I can't sing to these songs because I can't find a tune. I have to be able to hear it, and I can't hear it because I'm reading it. Now, maybe if I listen to the audiobook, then I could hear it, but I just don't love the songs written out. I loved the songs, period, themselves, don't get me wrong, and I loved reading the words. I just don't love them written that way, because especially when they're trying to make it look, it's just a personal thing. Same with the songs in The Hobbit or any book with songs in it. They don't work as well for me like that. I still can read them and like them, but I don't come across as songs to me. They just come across as words, right? Plot was great. I loved the story. It was had good turns. I had lots of predictable things, lots of unpredictable things. The things I predicted did not take away from the story, which is a good thing to have, where you can see what's coming and you're rooting for it and you're wanting it or not wanting it, and you're able to see it actually happen. Now, like I said, I could not put this book down when I was reading it. It was incredibly tough to step away when I had to and actually do other things with my life, but that was that good, yes. And like I said earlier, I definitely felt this was consistent to how teenage boys think or feel or act sometimes. Obviously, there's things that I would have done differently, but every boy is different and every person is different. So that makes sense. Now, I did love this book, and yes, I will go back to read book one. In a non-spoilery way, I thought it had the perfect amount of romance. It's got enough tension. It's got the magical element to just make it a little bit more than just a regular story that gives us a reason to, like, a real call to action. Hey, I've got this. Oh, we're just going to spoil it a little bit here. Hey, I've got this magical luck power that's going for me. And it's not really that, spoiler, because it's the back cover of the book. I've got this magical luck power for me. I can't fail. I'm going to ask this girl that I've had a super crush on for a date and see what happens. Okay, now we're going to get into the full spoilery mode. And let's just try and stick with characters for a minute. Like, I love Jude as a character. Okay, here's another. It's not even a shameful secret to me, but I'm sure some people would find it shameful. Don't love the Beatles. I don't really care about the Beatles. I don't like their music, most of it. I know a couple songs, Hey Jude, but yeah. So the Beatles references, a lot of them were probably lost on me, but that's okay. I like Jude. He's a great character. I love his insecurity and his fear and his, the power he feels when he has this luck and he's going for it. I was just like, man, Jude, you are so caught up on the wrong girl. You have to get with Araceli. Come on. Or Ari, she is the one for you. Can't you see it? I, as the reader, can definitely see it. What are you doing? Why are you looking at this Maya girl? She's not cool. Now, she is cool, of course. Let's talk about Maya for a second. Maya, I knew as soon as they started talking about the D&D things and she seemed really into it, I was like, aha, I see exactly where this is going. She's going to join the friend group. She does not want to be a romantic relationship with Jude. Should she have turned him down for the Shadasiva concert? Probably, because she knew that that's what he was thinking. I hope she didn't, but maybe I would think she did, because that's kind of a big thing. And asking in front of everybody like that. And then she accepted it, and then she was going to turn him down again. Now, that's fine. I understand. She really wanted to go, but come on, you should have been like, no, go with that other girl that you love. Ari. So, but I thought that she was well done. Their relationship, when they kind of talk to each other about it, he's like, hey, I want to date you. And this is going to be more in the writing section, but like the scene and the comparison between when, or maybe it's more of an atmospheric thing, but the scene when Jude kisses Maya versus when Jude kisses Ari, it was amazing. And I love that it was a short chapter when he starts kissing Ari and it's like the trumpets went off, the fireworks were exploding, and then with Maya, he's like, I didn't feel like it was supposed to feel. I felt like this is how I wanted it to feel when I kissed her, and that's not what I felt. And I love that the characters were able to like actually discuss things and like be chill about it. I love his sister, Prue. I love Ari with her music and her confidence and her like, you can do it, Jude, submit those drawings. Like, they were just really good characters. Like I said, the ones that were flat, his D&D characters, the lunchroom kids, random shoppers at the store. But of course, random shoppers at the store are going to be one-dimensional. They're just a shopper at the store. And while Jude's D&D, playing is kind of critical to the story, the characters are not so critical to it beyond Maya and Noah, who she kind of ends up going out with and such, right? It's critical that Maya becomes a part of that so she can be in the friend group and in the friend dynamic, but it's not critical enough that we have to spend all of our time with them, and we don't spend any time with them. So it's really tough to say that they are one-dimensional because of the amount of page time they actually get, right? If they had gotten a lot more page time, then they'd need to be more three-dimensional, but the way they are, it's fine. Ezra, Easy, I think he actually was pretty well written. It's interesting to just see, the way he is throughout the story and the jealousy that Jude starts feeling. That was intense and that was so good. It just was fun to me. And I loved that in the book, Jude calls us out at the very beginning of the book. It's like, you're the one with your nose in a book right now. Like, you shut up and just listen to my story. But and I love also, like, these are such great scenes, but the slow but sudden realization that he does love of Ari and he doesn't love Maya, that he put Maya up on a pedestal and he was like, oh, I love Maya because he was afraid of losing Ari, and he did it subconsciously. And he's like, well, if I don't go after her, I'll never have to ask her. I thought was really nice. The lunchroom scenes where you're sitting with somebody else, and man, that brought me back to my lunch days where I'd sit with all my friends at lunch and everybody kind of sat with their group of friends. And if you went and sat with somebody else, it was, you would notice though, like, hey, he's not sitting with us today. Where is he sitting? Oh, he's sitting over there. Why is he sitting over there? And the awkwardness of trying to insert yourself into a new friend group was just like, it's true though. It is awkward. At least it was for me. Maybe it's not awkward for everybody else, but going and trying to insert yourself into a new group and see what they like, especially when they have much different interests like he has, versus them. So fun. I mean, not so fun, but like reading about it this time was so fun. So once again, I think that's kind of all I have to say, but this book was so fun. It was so quick. It felt really exciting to me. Like I said, I could hardly put this book down. It was great. But that's all I have to discuss today about With a Little Luck by Marissa Meyer. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks to David Hillowitz for the intro and outro music. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions of books I should read or you think I'll like them, send them to libromancypod@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. And remember to be lucky with the magic of books.